The primed GT500 style spoiler here from MP Concepts would be an awesome addition for the 2015 and newer fastback owners looking to add that killer Shelby swing styling and doesn't mind either spraying this thing yourself or bringing it to your local paint shop to have it match to your ride. Now, materials will be the automotive grade ABS plastic for the overall build, finished in a matte black primer, all for that mid $100 price point. Install is going to go down one of two different ways, right? If you have a factory spoiler installed, there won't be any drilling required. However, if you do not have a factory spoiler installed, then you will need to break out the drill. Either way, the site's just going to call this a middle of the road 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. Call it a couple of hours or so to complete from start to finish. But if you hang with me for a bit, we'll walk you through this job later in the video. So even though MP Concepts refers to this as their GT500 style spoiler, the reality is this thing can be found on both the newer GT500 along with the GT350 as well, where Ford affectionately calls this the swing. Part spoiler, part wing, and 100% awesome, right? I think this is easily one of the better looking spoilers produced on a late model Mustang. And I actually remember seeing this thing for the very first time when we were out in Detroit for the 2019 GT350 Media Drive and just commenting on how huge this is going to be for the aftermarket. And judging by the overwhelming number of positive reviews back on the product page, I would say I wasn't too far off. Now, Ford's OE version of the swing was able to produce 135 pounds of downforce at 120 miles an hour without the optional handling pack gurney flap installed, which basically added just a little bit more meat to the back of the spoiler here. And while this option, I would argue, is going to be an appearance mod first, I would also assume some of those downforce benefits or properties would also apply to the option that we're talking about here today. Now, the MP Concepts option here is made from that automotive grade ABS plastic and has been built and designed using OEM Ford CAD data, which basically makes for a perfect fit on all fastback S550s out there. Now, the site says this will not fit any convertible S550s without modification. So if you have a drop top S550 and you're thinking about this, yes, there have been owners who have made it work, but just know going into it that there will be some modifications needed. Again, as you guys can see here, this is a primed spoiler or swing, meaning you will need to get it sprayed to color match your vehicle first before the install for the best overall result. Now, if you don't want to go through the hassle of having to take this thing to your local body shop or paint shop, wait to get it sprayed and just hope that the color match is on point, well, you can always check out one of our many pre-painted options available here on the site for a few bucks more, including the very spoiler you are looking at here today. But now we want to segue into that installation. And again, if you do have a factory spoiler installed, many customers have reported the install of the MP Concepts option will be pretty straightforward and will reuse some of the holes left by your factory spoiler. On the other hand, again, if you do not have a spoiler installed, then you will need to drill using the included drilling template provided to you by MP Concepts. But to give you a better idea of just how this job will go down, check out our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown right now.
Tools for this install: Phillips head screwdriver, a small extension, 10mm deep socket, an electric ratchet or ratchet, quick detailer or cleaning solution, microfiber cloth, as well as a trim removal tool. First step that we're gonna do is go ahead and take off our trunk liner, grab your trim removal tool, and get these pop clips that are located on the underside, and then we could have access to our spoiler. Go ahead and take your pry tool and get it underneath the head of the pop clips. Now, there is a series of 9 underneath the trunk liner here. After you get each one removed, that will give you access to the rear spoiler. Remove your trunk latch from the trunk liner, get them over the rubber nubs, and that will give you access to your spoiler. Now in each corner there is a rubber plug. We're going to need to remove that plug in order to access the spoiler bolts. After those plugs are removed, we can grab our 10 millimeter. At this point, take your 10 millimeter and go ahead and take off the corner bolts. Make sure you're tilting your trunk lid down. That way you do not lose the nut that is on there. Now with your outside bolts unthreaded, we can move on to the two middle bolts. Simply break the thread loose and then we'll take these nuts off by hand. Make sure you're supporting the spoiler. That way it doesn't fall back on your back glass. Now with your spoiler bolts undone, you can now remove your factory spoiler. It may take a little bit of pressure due to the adhesive, but don't be afraid to give it a slight tug upwards, and you can get your spoiler removed. With your spoiler removed, right now is a great time to grab some quick detailer or cleaning solution to clean the surface of your trunk. Gunk tends to get underneath there. When we get that clean, it will give us a nice solid surface for the adhesive on our new spoiler. Now before we get our spoiler on, we're going to go ahead and prep it with the 3M adhesive that comes with the kit. Go ahead and peel off the backing and get that placed on your spoiler. Now after that's done, we can work on getting this on the trunk. Now we're going to go ahead and peel off the red backing from our adhesive. And we will get the spoiler placed on our trunk. Now, if your vehicle came with a spoiler already, your holes will be drilled out. So just place your spoiler there. However, if it did not, there is a template that comes with your spoiler. Go ahead and firmly push down on your spoiler, and we'll get to bolting it down. Now go ahead and take your 10 millimeter kit provided nuts and get those hand tightened for now. Right in the center of the trunk. And take your 10 millimeter socket and go ahead and tighten those nuts down. Now these corner studs are a little bit trickier to get to. You're gonna wanna slant your trunk lid down and then place that 10 millimeter on the stud as to not lose it in the trunk lid. Go ahead and grab your trunk latch wire and feed that through your trunk liner. Get it placed over the rubber nubs as well as the trunk latch itself. Go ahead and grab your pop clips and get them placed back into the liner. And you are good to go.
And that's going to wrap it up for this review and install for the MP Concepts GT500 rear spoiler in primed, fitting your 15 to 21 fastback Mustang. For more videos just like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button at AmericanMuscle.com.